Live chat and finalizing terms. Okay, so we're getting to the point where we're about ready to hire somebody. Now, we started this whole process by contacting them or them contacting us through a job listing. Then we evaluated their skills, their personality. We gave them a test task. If everything has been great so far, we're ready to hire them. But before we do, I recommend that you set up a live Skype chat session. It doesn't have to be voice where you're actually talking to them. You can just type and chat with them live. The reason why I do this is because this is a final step to really kind of feel someone out. You know, if someone acts a little bit weird or says some strange things when they're live, it may be a danger sign. You know, people can take their time when they answer their emails, that you send them, so they give you the exact answer they want to give or something that sounds really, really good. But a lot of times it's important to kind of work back and forth with somebody on the fly when it's live. So I recommend just setting up a live chat session to do this. Now, you need to keep this chat session friendly. Just say hi, nice to meet you. Ask them about the weather, ask them what they're up to. But don't interrogate them. Don't ask them a bunch of hardcore interview style questions. We've already gone through all that by this point. Why we're doing this is just to kind of feel them out a little bit and see how comfortable we are, kind of talking back and forth with them. Sometimes you'll find that people met all the other skills and the test task was pretty good, but when you get to the chat session, something just feels kind of off, almost like they're hiding something in a way. And so this stuff is very, very important to make a final decision to invest in someone and to hire them. So most of the time it will be fine. They'll be glad to chat with you and you'll be well on your way and kind of starting a friendship with that person. But it's important that you get in a live environment so they don't have all the time to give you that perfect answer via email. So that's why you really want to do the chat session. But you don't interrogate them. You don't set up as some big interview process. Now, at the end of the chat session, you say, okay, it was great chatting with you. I just wanted to take a moment to get to know you a little bit. And I'll be emailing you some final details, about the job and about the situation so we can move towards hiring you. So what you're going to do is you're basically going to email them. You're going to say, here's the situation. We're going to take you on as an independent contractor. You restate the hours that are required for the job. By this point, it kind of already would have been mentioned in the beginning if it's full-time or part-time and how many hours that is. You kind of talk about, what their schedule should be that they'll work. And then you mention the starting monthly rate. Now, typically when you send that initial email where I say to make the subject line 20% more than what they're asking, pretty much just come back down to the asking price and say, here's what we propose. We want to start you at this monthly rate, and we're going to work you out for 90 days and see how you work out. And if you do a really good job, we're going to give you a raise. And that's what you should do anyway. And you can even tell them, and if you do a really great job during the first 90 days, you're going to get some other performance bonuses and make more money, along the way as well. So you want to give them incentives, and you really want to encourage them to work really hard to make more money. And that's how you always want to treat all your outsourced workers. Always let them know this is a great opportunity for them. So the harder they work, the better of a job they do, the more money that they're going to get paid. Let them know they'll also be eligible for 13-month bonus pay. Now, this is pretty much only for Filipino workers. They have a national thing in their country where when they work at a job for 1 year, straight, or 12 months, they get a 13-month bonus pay. So they get 1 month's salary as a bonus after they've worked that 12th month. So once they've worked for you for a year, they're going to get an additional month bonus, just for free. It's pretty much the national thing in the Philippines, and you need to honor that for any Filipino worker. Now, optional. If you really want to get kind of advanced here in hiring people, there are some other things that you can do, which I have done. Now, let me explain that I only do this for certain workers. I don't do it for everyone, but it depends, how good that worker may or may not be, how important they'll be to your company. So typically if you're hiring some really, really high-end software developer or IT director or some other very, very important person for your company, where in other words it's not just going to be like a content writer, then you want to work some other things into the agreement and in the hiring process. And you're going to have to, in most cases, if they're already working another job or involved with another company. Remember how I already said the best of the best are already working. They're so good they constantly are, they have no problem getting work, and they work long stretches of time, many years for certain companies. So in order to take them away and get them to work for you, it's usually going to take a little bit of creativity. Now, these are little secrets and things that I don't think anyone really knows about when it comes to outsourcing, or most people I've seen or that teach outsourcing or talk about it or even are doing it. I've never seen anyone talk about this stuff, so I really want to share this. I've done these things, and it's kind of like one of those things when you do opposite of what everyone else, it's easy for you to get attention. I tried to teach you those lessons when we talked about, just sending the initial contact email and coming at it from a different approach. So using some of these things and coming at it from a different approach, it really goes a long way. So first and foremost, though, with almost all workers, you really want to ask them, hey, in order for us to hire you, we really only feel comfortable doing it if you agree to exclusivity. So what you're basically saying is, if you agree not to work for anyone else. And by doing so, you basically say, if you agree not to do anyone else's work and only work full-time for me and for my company, we'll definitely reward you enough to where when you're doing a great job by working full-time for us, you won't need to take on any other jobs because we'll be paying you enough that it'll be worth your while. Now, why you want to do that? Because if you don't talk about exclusivity, and basically almost make it a requirement of working for you, a lot of these freelance workers are going to be working on multiple projects. They're still going to be posting projects for hire on Elance or Rent-A-Coder or Odesk or these other sites. They may take on some other people that contact them for their resume. They may work part-time for them. You don't want that. You want to basically say, I want to hire you. I'll reward you handsomely for your hard work if you do a good job, but I don't want you working on other projects. Otherwise, you'll get distracted and won't put in a full, 40-hour work week. But you also want to position it and basically let them know that you're going to reward them so much, and it's going to be such a good opportunity for them that they won't have to spend their extra time working overtime on other projects. So that's important to try to work in exclusivity. I haven't had any problems with any people I've tried to hire in basically demanding exclusivity in order to hire them. There's only been a couple of exceptions, and it's been with some graphic designers, that we've worked with. And what they told me, and they were very honest, they said up front, they said, look, I have other clients that I've worked with for a long time that I always try to fit in some of their little project work here and there, like to do a logo for them or something else if they ever need it, once a month or once every couple of months. And they've been with me for a long time and always treated me really well and brought me a lot of repeat business. So I can't agree to only work for you and to never do anything for them if they ever need a little bit of help because they've been so good to me. So of course I make that exception. I'm like, that's fine, no problem. But the thing you want to cut off, and this is what the important thing is and what's so valuable, is you want to try to put a stop to them working for other companies part-time or for chasing jobs on other project sites so they can focus only on doing a good job for you. Now, if you're trying to get a really good worker that works for another company, and they'd really be important for your company, maybe they're a financial manager or some other, high-end type of a position, and maybe they're really good at building like sales teams or call centers or whatever the case ends up being. If they're already working another job, then you're really going to have to sweeten the offer in order to get them to leave their position. One of the things you can do is you can offer them a signing bonus. So let's say you're trying to hire them for $500 a month. You can say, the moment you sign the work agreement to take on this job, I'm going to give you a $250 signing bonus just for nothing. As soon as you sign the contract, I'm going to send you $250 via PayPal. That, of course, encourages them to go ahead and make the move to start working for you. Another powerful thing, though, is to say, listen, I'm willing to make a really, really rare exception, which is true, and add this into our work agreement. If you come and work for me under the agreed amount monthly price, and you do a good job where I don't have to let you go, of course, because you're not, it's not because of poor work performance, and of course, it's not because you're leaving to quit and go work somewhere else. But if you stay with my company, and for whatever reason, if we don't have the work for you and have to let you go, we'll put in the agreement that we'll pay you 2 months worth of your salary as severance the day we have to let you go. Now that's very important for people because think about it. You're asking them to take a huge chance with them and their family's livelihood to go and work for you. And so if they go and work for you for a month or two and then your company fails or you don't do well, they're in deep trouble to have to chase and find another job because they still have those monthly bills to pay. So offering that kind of severance package in there should they ever have to leave because you don't have more work for them. Again, not because of poor work performance or them leaving on their own. That's a pretty nice safety net for them to know, hey, no matter what, in the worst case scenario, if they tell me they have to let me go, they're still going to give me 2 months worth of salary, so I have a cushion there. These are some little things I've added into some contracts when hiring some higher elite people, and it works really, really well. And they all tell me, they're like, no one's ever done this hiring me as an outsourcer. I really appreciate how you treat me. And of course, that goes a long way in the long-term relationship. But those are some tips that you need to take into account before making the final hire with somebody. And that's doing the live chat session, and that's including these other things in a contract if they make sense. And of course, stating everything. And then what we're working towards after this is, of course, prepping the agreements for them to sign, accept the position and start working for you.